In a world where noise dominates silence and popularity often masquerades as truth, what becomes of the mind that thinks differently? Arthur Schopenhauer, the German philosopher of shadows and solitude, believed the world we see is not reality itself, but a veil shaped by our desires. And behind that veil lies the will, a blind, relentless force that drives all living things. Not toward happiness, not toward peace, but toward craving, repetition, dissatisfaction. The will is hunger without purpose. The will is not fulfilled by achievement. It is addicted to the chase. Schopenhauer saw the world not as a celebration, but as a tragedy. And in this dark theater of existence, he placed two characters center stage, the genius and the herd. To Schopenhauer, the genius is not merely an intelligent person. Genius is a distortion of the norm, a rare anomaly. The genius does not see the world as it appears, but as it is. Where others are comforted by illusion, the genius is haunted by truth. To be a genius, according to Schopenhauer, is not to have knowledge, but vision, a piercing insight into the nature of existence. The genius sees through the surface and into the structure of reality. He feels the futility of desire and the silent dignity of beauty. But this vision comes at a price. It makes the genius solitary, not because they disdain company, but because they speak a language the masses have forgotten. The herd, those guided by imitation, trends, and the safety of numbers, seeks pleasure, distraction, validation. They cannot understand what they have never seen. And so, the genius walks alone, not out of pride, but out of necessity. The genius, on the other hand, seeks meaning, beauty, clarity. Solitude becomes his refuge, his workshop, his cathedral, a place where thought can breathe, where the soul of the philosopher and the artist finds its most sacred home. And so Schopenhauer believed solitude is not a curse, but a sanctuary. Ordinary people, he wrote, are sociable because they need company as they cannot endure their own thoughts. But the genius, he can, because his inner world is vast, rich, dangerous even. But this solitude is not romantic. It is heavy. It demands courage. Because to step away from the herd is to leave behind applause, companionship, and safety. And yet, it is only from the edge that one can truly see the center. In solitude, the genius crafts. He writes, he paints, he composes, not to impress, but to survive. For Schopenhauer, music was the purest form of art. When we listen to a symphony, we are momentarily lifted out of desire, out of time, and into contemplation. Other art forms too, poetry, painting, philosophy, allow the genius to translate his suffering into beauty. The artist suffers more deeply because they feel more deeply, but in that suffering they create. And here's the paradox. The genius suffers because he is apart from the world, but the world benefits from his suffering. The herd laughs at the strange. It fears the original. It mocks the one who dares to wander off the path. But the genius does not walk alone to be seen. He walks alone because the well-worn paths no longer lead anywhere. And yet the genius is not superior in arrogance. For Schopenhauer, the superior mind bears its own punishment. Isolation, misunderstanding, existential fatigue. But in that isolation, he discovers what the herd never will, the silent music behind reality, the echo of the eternal. So, what do we do with this insight? We remember that solitude is not loneliness, that to feel deeply is not a weakness, that beauty is not decoration, but revelation. And that perhaps in moments of stillness, when we dare to think for ourselves, we too can brush against that genius within. Schopenhauer never asked us to reject the world, but he begged us, look deeper. Do not be seduced by noise. Find beauty in stillness. And if you must walk alone, let it be, because the truth is too important to abandon. The superior mind is not superior because it shouts louder, but because it listens more deeply. It chooses solitude not to escape the world, but to understand it. And from that solitude, something eternal is born. To live like Schopenhauer is not to reject life, but to see it with eyes unclouded, alone perhaps, but awake. If this stirred something in you, don't scroll past it. Sit with it, share it, and if you're ready to dig deeper into the truths we bury, subscribe. This isn't just philosophy, it's a call to wake up. Until next time, stay awake, stay true,